Drew, you know what the really sad part is? Well, Drew, you know what the really sad part is? Is that he's literally quoting Russia propaganda talking points. And it's like, I swear to God, because Putin's the one that made that. You know who really don't want Ukraine to be in NATO? Putin. And it's weird as shit to me because it's all the time. It's like all of a sudden the Russian talking points now come out because they all get their news from the same fucking source. And it's always fuck us for trying to say that because there's no, I'm still talking here, because there's nobody on Clubhouse. And let's just say, let's say we let Russia take over Ukraine. Nobody on Clubhouse, unless your name is Putin, is going to tell us that he can stop at Ukraine. This is such an old-ass, tired conversation that I literally could come into this room, listen to 2 seconds of the bullshit that's being peddled, and then realize, oh, you guys are talking about Ukraine.
What I'm saying is...
Because Putin is literally, because Trump is literally a puppet. And the same thing for the GOP is bending over backwards to the power of the gremlin, and it is fucking pathetic. Okay, man, let's go. What do you
have Trump saying, when you have a Republican, this is the first time I've seen a Republican saying that I could have this war.
Does anybody believe that this is the first time he's actually not a Republican?
So what I'm saying is, when you have a Republican candidate that's saying that they could stop the war, they need to stop we need to stop the war. That hasn't happened. You usually have the Republicans that's pushing for proxy wars or instigating shit. So these wars, Putin. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Do you understand that the reason why he's calling for a ceasefire or why he's telling Ukraine to stop is because he wants to hand it over to Putin? Are you serious right now?
Hey, Drew.
Are you serious?
Drew. It's like when Trump. Remember when Trump stopped? You remember when Trump stopped overtime? Was it the taxation on overtime, and he just got rid of overtime?
You're right. He's talking about a ceasefire. He's talking about a ceasefire. Wait. No, you talking about a ceasefire? Do you think a ceasefire in Gaza is what he wants when he has appointed an ambassador to over there who says that he doesn't even believe that there is a such thing as a West Bank, that it all belongs to Israel? Do you think that they're going to go over there and seek a ceasefire or seek peace? What are you talking about?
Well, apparently Trump has that magic ability of like Gandalf the White, and it's going to be like none shall pass, and then there will be peace among the land. Because
I mean, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, Thomas. I can go into the Book of Revelations. We headed that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't saying these things can't happen. What I'm saying is to come in here and say that the Democrats haven't been requesting a ceasefire is just wild to me, because that just tells me you're not paying attention.
I want to say that
that's why I would never vote Democrat again in my life.
I want to say
that's good. You keep doing what you're doing. Nobody wants you to vote Democrat.
I want to say Russia just fired the ICBM. It's the first time one's ever been fired.
It's probably the only one they got.
Yeah, well, the thing that we're shot, Fat Black is sucking the dick off of Putin and not even knowing, which is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Dude.
You're the one quoting. You go ahead. You're the one quoting the Kremlin talking points, bro, not me.
Foul on play.
Sorry, firstly. My bad.
You guys.
5-second penalty. 5-second penalty. 1,
you acting like
3, 4, 5. Chill.
Zelensky was
Right.
installed by the U.S., dude. Like, you forgot that the U.S. did a coup on Ukraine. Like, are we not forgetting this? Are we making it seem like Zelensky and Ukraine is just the good guys?
Zelensky was actually voted in. We didn't send troops over there to stage a coup. So I like I said, thank you for the Russian talking point.
Oh.
So, Fat Black, did you say you would never vote for a Democrat again? Is that
Yeah.
All right. So if it's 2028 and you got Wes Moore against Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're going with Marjorie Taylor Greene this week?
I'll go independent then.
Yeah.
Because I'll go independent.
Wonderful.
Because I'm a populist right now. I support the populist side. I report.
So you won't still go to the Republican.
I'll vote for the count. I'll vote for the count.
Why would you not vote for Miss Black? Hold on. Why would you not vote for Miss Black, man? That's a great governor that has served our armed forces. Why would you not vote for him?
Because he's just going to carry out the same Democratic agenda. That's why. Democrats, what are the Democrats standing for right now?
Well, not putting a pedophile
tell
for an attorney
tell
general
us.
is a good start.
You tell us. You tell us. What?
Dude, here you go with the moral high grounds. Are you gonna talk about voting for a pedophile? Dude, what about Tara Reid?
No,
Joe Biden?
this isn't about
No,
moral high ground.
I'm just saying, that was accusation.
Oh my goodness, why did y'all pick me in here? This is horrible.
It's
This is horrible. Why did y'all pick me in here?
What are you talking about?
Was he convicted? Was he convicted for that,
It's
sir?
directly connected to
I'm not
his
gonna
job.
take up for him. I'm not taking up for him. I'm just saying, was he
So what are you
convicted for that?
doing? You're creating a straw man.
Was he convicted for that?
So was George Zimmerman convicted for killing Trayvon Martin?
What? That's not the same. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, it is exactly the same
I'm not
thing.
saying Tara Reid accused Joe Biden of
It is
raping her.
exactly the
But
same thing.
you would totally throw that under the bus, though, right?
No,
Your 13-year-old.
And she never testified under oath. She accused him and then backed out of it and never testified under oath. Gates' friend who's colleague with him is doing 11 years in jail for this, and we have the Venmo transactions.
Some of y'all are too emotional and having this conversation. I need y'all to take it down just a bit, okay? Seriously. I don't have any anxiety medicine. I don't take them. However, I feel like I need them to have this conversation. Chill out. If y'all done had like 15 monster juices, I need y'all to drink some water. CEO, what was your question to this young man? You asked him about voting for, what's his name?
Yeah, I said.
So we got some new news. Haifa area targeted by overnight salvo from Lebanon. IDF says several rockets downed, but the what is it called? Iron Dome is not really working. That's what I'm saying. So but it goes. IDF says 5 rockets fired from Lebanon at Haifa area. Some intercepted. Some no reports of injuries. Trump picks Pam Bondi for U.S. Attorney General after Gates withdraws nomination. I guess Gates was good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into Pam Bondi. And then we got what else do we have? Biden blasts outrageous ICC arrest warrants. No equivalence between Israel and Hamas. That's true. I mean, if you fund the terrorist organization, you're a fucking terrorist, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't be going around and calling Hamas terrorists. Then you got to call them Netanyahu terrorists. He's the one that funded the Hamas. Otherwise, Hamas wouldn't even exist in the first place. They would be like disappear. And then we have Netanyahu's aide. He's charged with harming the state security and leak document case. Could face a life term. He's the closest to Netanyahu, and I'm sure, 100% sure, Netanyahu told him to change the time on the phone call. So that's where we're at right now,
Yeah. I mean, something about you said before. Many Israelis were displaced in the south, in Gaza border and in Lebanon border, and the people in Gaza border already returned, but people on the Lebanese border are still displaced.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. Anybody else want to chime in? Muhammad, Dean, Saif, Yahweh, welcome everybody.
Someone, just catching up on the news. Basically all day, so just hearing what you had to say for the updates.
Yep. Amos, what were you saying, Amos? You see, you disrespected me, but I don't attack you back because my religion doesn't tell me to attack the elderly.
I think, Amir, you become a Zionist.
No, I like to read inside what's happening inside Israel. More than I read about the Gaza. Because
I think, I listen to you, you don't attack Israel so much. Before, when I listen in your room, all the time you attack. Now, when I listen to you, you become relaxed, you don't talk so much, and you listen, and you become a Zionist, I think.
Nah, God forbid if I become a Zionist, man. If I look at the Google Baba's definition, Jewish state, okay, I can take the Google Baba definition and go with that. But
decades before, and said that the universe ever expanded like to infinity, right? Now, what I found interesting is that, over the past 4 or 5 years, I started to see multiple articles of them seeing all these different planets. One planet that is completely water, right? I think they made it. I think they even showed that in the Star Wars,
Andromeda.
Andromeda, Star Wars, where they show that there was there was a whole planet just full of water. There was another one that was nothing but lava and lava planet. One that looks like 5 times the size of Mars and whatnot. So those particular planets, so to speak, right? Those planets, to say that those are uninhabitable, being almost impossible to say, especially when our bodies are built off of 80% water.
No, we're not saying it's uninhabitable, bro. We're saying the results or the remnants of these higher, more advanced civilizations, like again, I'm talking about 4 through 7. Go look them up. Type 4 through 7 type civilizations. The amount of energy it takes to create those structures, create the ability to jump hyperspace, and it's a lot, bro. It just takes too much energy to make those type of civilizations run, and you can't hide the structures that it takes to make those things go. You can't hide that. You would see remnants of them.
It is definitively the opposite.
You broke up. Can you say it one more time?
Nothing. Just ignore me.
Okay.
All right. So what?
I can't talk.
Oh, what's up, we? I didn't even know you said. What's good, we?
I just want to ask you a question about this.
I didn't even know you said.
I've been told Ray to shut the fuck up.
No, you didn't. Bitch.
So when you talking about these civilizations, I was looking at you talking about the Carter ship.
Yeah.
All right. So when I looked at it and it, at first it only went to like 3, I get 4, and now they've expanded on it. The possibilities of what it would take. So wouldn't that last level? Wouldn't that be the total energy of all of the total system? How's it go? The total energy of all of the energy that could be amassed. That would literally be God.
No, it does. So, it doesn't quite get to God. It does get close in this that type 7, essentially now you are able to interface with higher dimensions, and those dimensions don't run on the laws of our universe. So the energy that it would take, and it's funny because my anime deals with this, the energy that it takes to get into those dimensions, that energy output, you can't hide that. And the ability to create advanced humanoid body types that are able to actually, not just in your mind, but actually transverse those dimensions, that in itself too, it just takes too much energy to output those things. So you can't hide that. And y'all don't understand, it is literally, like he just said, it's almost like the entire universe's energy. It takes that amount to make those things in a type 7 civilization actually happen. So you can't hide it, you just can't. And it would take us what did they say, 2 decacillion? I don't know. It's 2 decacillion years to get to type 7.
If a type 6 or a type 7 civilization can manipulate the fabric of space time itself, that's God.
No. You're not. Okay, so they do say in a type 7, you would technically have the ability to rewrite the laws of physics on a level, but you're not creating universe. I don't think you're creating new universes though. So
why not?
I don't know. Maybe you're right. I didn't see that
It wouldn't be new. It wouldn't be creation of anything new. It'd be the reformation of
manipulation. Exactly. So it's not like you're jump starting it from like the Big Bang. Like you're jump starting it from nothing. Instead, you're using material that's already there, and you're able to for instance, you're able to travel through black holes and exit out white holes. Pause. To universes on the other side. In a type of civilization.
But wait, you know, when you go through a singularity, right? You know, like a black hole or a white hole, wouldn't that destroy your entire all the atoms?
Well, that's the whole point, Ray. Is that now in the type 7 civilization, you have humanoid body types.
Yeah.
You have humanoid body types that are able to travel through those and withstand the amount of
the reason why the ships are so lightweight. Right, and the people are so lightweight, and they're trying to minimize for mass. If you take any of the stuff about UFOs or aliens online, that seems to be a critical component. Their dominance of energies has to do with advanced materials. So, like, even if we were to come up with an alloy, some of the, like, I'll tell you this way, I work with metamaterials, and at most we have like 2-3 materials interacting with each other to make some sort of new process, or basically like a stealth material. We don't use it for stealth, we use it to amplify a lens. But the elements that have been found, the fractures of these craft, have every single element in the periodic table in some advanced crazy lattice, and it repeats, and that repeating pattern gives them some of these abilities. So we don't even understand how these processes build up because our computers can't simulate them. Like my team works with FR4 and copper, and then some sort of weird filter, and that's it. So, you know, that's already complicated. It takes like lithography machines to make that shit.
Right. Because the one thing that I explore, and I told you this, the one thing I explore in the anime is that it starts from a type 7 civilization, and it entropies. In that universe, there's an entropy law that includes not just the degradation of things around you, but the degradation of intelligence itself. So it starts in a reverse where the world starts at a type 7, but then degrades into a type 1 or type 0. So it sort of explores that. It explores that reverse, where what would it look like?
The women to date other people from other religions. And there was this Sunni guy, and he dated this Druze girl.
Oh, well, I was. Is there anybody actually out there looking for something? Or are they just like lost in life? Like, really, Tony?
You know, interestingly enough, what the objective stats say is that men are actually more
Fuck the stats. You and your damn stats. Good God.
Oh, fuck the stats.
The last 4 or 5 years, Tony stat.
You just don't care about like what's actually happening in the world?
Well, you have to be actually out in the world to see what's happening. I mean, Tony, do you have a girlfriend? Are you still single?
Why are we switching this to me?
Well, because we're talking about.
Why did you address what I just said?
Is your ass still single?
What's happening, people?
Oh my goodness.
It's a yes or a no.
This is hilarious.
I mean, I didn't see anybody on that Wave Runner with you sitting behind you holding on.
Wave Runner? What Wave
question? Question still up in there.
Are you single?
Why are you asking me?
Well, because we're talking about why people are still single and you are in the room.
Listen, don't take it as anything.
Do you have a micro penis? Is that why?
This is confidence, lack of confidence problem.
Is that what it is?
This is insane.
You have a receding hairline. Is that why?
Hero Cosmetics to share my go-to products for radiant looking skin this winter. Starting with the Glow Balm, this is going to leave your skin looking radiant and dewy. Who doesn't want that? You can't tell me I'm not glowing, okay?
We put in the work to keep the holidays fresh. You put in the work to make them special. Holidays, here we come.
divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. Okay, so what heaven is that? Long haul, right?
Wait, how many kids?
No.
Well,
I got it. We listened to all of that earlier.
Freaking terrifying.
religion, and it's considered quite rude to go on and on and on about how shitty one of them is, even though it's true. We all know it's true. We know it's the root of all these problems in the Middle East. We're not dumb. We don't live in La La Land. We know their game. They showed us. They showed us their face, especially on October 7th, I gotta say. There's some scary ass shit.
You know, I'm not.
We saw.
I'm not.
We know.
But sir, like,
It's rude.
I just
This
wanted
is
to answer
easy
your
rude.
question
Habibi,
about the
this is
rocket.
friends. It's my friend. We're just chilling. These are friends. It's Thursday night. We're just chilling, you know?
But if I could just say one thing, you know, one special thing about Iran is it is honestly the only Aristotelian form of government on earth, right?
Yeah,
in that Iran's leaders are scholars in metaphysics and morality who lead society.
And they do a bang-up job.
Well, Magzed, you know, Ben Gvir wants Iran 2.0, and it's going to happen in Israel soon with halakhic law, so, you know, don't be talking.
Ben Gvir wants what for Iran?
Ben Gvir wants halakhic law in Israel, right?
Oh, are you trying to say halachic?
Yes.
Okay. The first H is just like a normal H sound. Ha. And then the ha
Don't
is in the
explain
middle.
it to me.
Halachic.
Let's go back to the topic. So, Ben Gvir wants that in Israel. So who are you to attack Iran for?
What's halakha? If you don't mind, what does halakha mean?
Jewish Sharia law.
No, it's not Sharia law. You're an idiot.
But like, what's Magzed? Like, maybe
Halacha comes from the Hebrew word lech, meaning go, like the parsha where Abraham shows up in the Bible, lech lecha, go for your sake from your household. Halacha, the going, basically means the way. It's what you do. Halacha. Custom, practice.
Halacha.
Yeah,
right?
halacha. Right? Because,
so
like,
how do you write it? Like, Magzed, can you write it in the chat?
In halacha of, like, discussion, right? Or something of biblical.
But doesn't halakha law say, for example, a woman must always have a head covering? And that's why in the Haredim community, women either have a head covering or a wig. So wouldn't you say it's oppressive to women?
You could say that the hair covering thing is oppressive. It's a custom for married women, and it's self-imposed. The women do it themselves if they want it. So I suppose there are some men that would maybe like force their wives to cover their hair, but I'd assume that like she either leaves the marriage or covers her hair. Like from the women I know that do or do not cover their hair.
Say that, right?
Well,
because within these traditional communities, it is not just the couple that is getting married. It is two families integrating into one.
No, that's not always the case.
And so there's immense social and cultural pressure from the Orthodox community. What do you mean? All her friends, all her family members would be pressuring her to cover her hair. You're saying that wouldn't have an impact on?
No, I'm saying you are story building. You like said that there's some merger between two families. No, people just get married, dude.
I'm talking about the Haredim.
Haredim are within their own little closed community.
And they are the closest followers of
No, listen. Let me be clear. I would
Haredim are Orthodox, right, Magzed? Like they are Orthodox Jews, right?
Yes, I'm an Orthodox Jew. The Haredim are submitting themselves, both men and women, to a very oppressive
And when
culture.
you are born into a Haredim family, as you are growing up, are you going to deny that there is not an immense familial, social, and cultural pressure?
With all of this, you keep trying to build up like you're going somewhere. Where are you going with any of these questions?
I was gonna say, so my main point was, as I had said, one should not critique Iran's Aristotelian system when Israel with Ben Gvir and Smotrich is headed the same.
What does Ben Gvir, Smotrich, or Haredim have to do with the direction of the state of Israel?
Because they're Kahanist and they want halakha law.
Okay, slow down. I asked you a simple question, right? You responded very quickly. No, hey, listen for a second. You responded very quickly with, because they're Kahanists. I asked you, what is the relevance of Smotrich, Ben Gvir, and the Haredi opinion?
Well, many say
slow down. Dude, you're doing it again. You're jumping for an answer, right? That's exactly what you did. You said, because they're Kahanists. That wasn't what I asked you. I didn't ask if they were aligned with some prior extremist Jewish group.
How did you get in?
My question was very simple. I said, why did that... Pearl, could you mute yourself?
Oh.
The question is, why does that matter? Are they in control of the state of Israel?
Because many have said, once Netanyahu falls, there will be a power vacuum, and Ben Gvir has a
what percentage of Israel do they represent?
I think Utzma Yehuda, they got like 20%, but Netanyahu's whole coalition is built on Utzma Yehuda.
What'd you say?
Netanyahu's whole coalition is built on the support of Utzma Yehuda.
Yeah, it's a coalition government. It's reliant upon agreements. That doesn't mean that Smotrich or Ben Gvir have much control. But regardless, I don't really see how that's a response to your desire to characterize the Iranian government as Aristotelian, which is also a name. I think you're mostly just hiding the stupidity of that, like, shot in the dark you took.
No, they're stupid. Because you cannot have an Aristotelian government indulging in metaphysics.
Again, where do you want this conversation to go? It feels like you just sort of reiterate points that you yourself don't really have faith in.
I never said Iran being an Aristotelian government was a good...
I don't care. I don't know why we're talking about the Aristotelian characteristics of the Iranian government.
Well, you're the one who investigated me about it.
I think we disconnected. Anyways, guys, it has been a pleasure, meeting everyone here. But I feel like my presence is kind of intimidating someone here. I don't want to intimidate anyone. I come in peace. I don't want to fight.
Anyone age?
Like for real, if it's if my presence or like whatever I say is being you or whatever, I can leave.
No, I just want you to not feel that way, though.
H, I would say that you have been measured in your responses. You have your beliefs, you have your knowledge of Islam, you shared it with people. They don't have to agree with you, but you've been very nice, you've been very cordial. It hasn't been argumentative, and whether people agree or not is besides the point.
Exactly. But okay, I mean, if you guys are not okay with it, I'll just stay then. But I just don't want anyone to feel like threatened or like intimidated.
No, I don't think anybody does, though. I just think for someone like me or Rue, who's lived in, under Islamic states, whether people agree it is or not, it's just we lived a different, we lived in a different Islamic environment than someone like you. Like I have traveled to Lebanon. It's a long time ago, but I've been there. It is not like Iran. Nothing like it. It's completely different. So I get that, and if we get heated, I don't think it's I don't want you to feel like it's intimidation, and I think it's a good view for the rest of the people to see how the experience is so different from one Muslim to another Muslim,
Yeah, but actually, Sarah, my ex was Iranian, and she used to make me Hormuz every week. So yeah, I kind of understand what you mean, and she follows يعني she's actually an atheist, okay, and she follows whatever you believe right now. She hates everything there, and I can totally relate and understand with what you're facing or what you have faced. So I'm sorry for that.
I had a question. So in
Yeah, sure.
2014, 15, 16, when ISIS was invading Iraq and Syria, they say that many Sunni communities, when ISIS would come into their village, they would be, very happy. They would congratulate the soldiers. And, places like Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, they're very divided along sectarian lines. So, do you believe the Sunni community can integrate into a civil law, secular state in consideration of the fact that they were welcoming ISIS just 7 years ago?
I mean, look, you should know something, that I think most people in this region, in the Middle East, are not actually influenced by the religion itself. They're influenced by people that pretend that they follow the religion. So especially in Iraq, if you go to Iraq and you look what's happening in Iraq, you would see that the most prominent Shiite coalition, or like the most prominent Shiite party.
Investigation of the actions of any person or office involved in this case, and to determine if reasonable grounds existed to further prosecute the defendant. Judge Truman later appointed Dan Webb as special prosecutor following the Office of Special Prosecutor's investigation. A special grand jury indicted the defendant on 6 counts of felony disorderly conduct. In an information release, which is part of the record, the OSP explained that reasonable grounds existed to further prosecute the defendant because he had planned and participated in a staged hate crime attack and therefore had numerous false statements to Chicago police officers. Okay, so what I'm understanding and what I just read in these last couple chapters is the technical argument was when Fox recused herself.
Shoot a nuke at us.
Who is up? Answer my question. How many bases are in the world that have U.S. soldiers in it?
A lot.
How many bases? What's a lot? Give me a number.
We have over 1,000 military installations throughout the entire globe. Does that answer your question?
Imperialism, motherfuckers.
That ain't right. That ain't right. You in the 80s. You got 80 countries that have, 80 plus countries that have the U.S. soldiers there.
How many
now.
countries are there in the entire world, sir?
This is what Kamala said.
Did you say Kambamala?
This what
Y'all
she said.
cannot be this bored. Are we this bored? Are we really this bored?
There's 750 bases.
We're not
750
getting ready, man, and started talking with the most incomprehensible shit that we've heard in the last 2 hours. That's what happened.
Soldiers, and this can be your family.
Don't you realize that's shooting America? Don't you realize that's shooting America?
But we got people on the front line.
Oh, so if you shoot the base, that's not attacking America.
We talking about people on the front line. That's foreign, in a foreign jurisdiction.
So American bases are not American territory. Got it.
What?
So if they hit a U.S.
American
base, what are you
bases-
trying to say that's U.S. territory?
So y'all playing games with a dangerous game.
No,
and you
we're
have
not.
no respect or appreciation for the soldiers out there that making sure we safe. And this is y'all
I'm literally
laughing about.
talking to
Because I'm trying to tell you what's really real.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 7.
We're gonna call. We're calling people from Clubhouse.
You have reached Emily Jones. After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, Emily Jones. This is Joy calling you from the law room in the House of Joy. I'm here with Abdul. We're calling Clown House people that I know. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. And return the phone call if you can, or just join Joy on Clown House. Oh, is that Abdul?
Yes,
It's my coach. My coach. Hi, coach.
Hello. Coach Abdul, Coach Joy. You got shut down on coach. You're back.
Let's call the real Joy. Yeah, I'm back and I'm full of joy.
You know, Diego thought he destroyed you.
He thought he destroyed me?
Yeah.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hi, Joy. This is Joy on Clown House in the room called Law with an eye emoji in the House of Joy. I'm here with Abdul, my coach. Abdul, you want to say hi to Joy?
Yeah. Hey, Joy. It's nice to speak to you again. Come into Coach Joy's room.
We're calling people. Oh, Pepper is here. Pepper has arrived. Hi, Pepper. Okay, Joy, join us on Clown House or call me back. Bye.
Hey, Coach Joy, let me ask you, do you think you can handle Diego this time around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I appreciate, the content that he gives me. But, I guess I don't want to, I want to help people. I don't want to, make fun of people about their dandruff. That's Scotty. He probably blocked me. Pretty sure he blocked me here on the app, too.
Who is Scotty?
He's a reverend. He's a gay reverend.
Reverend Scotty?
He's always in a morning room called, the Brazilian.
Hi, this is Scott. I can't take your call right now, but if you leave a
He didn't pick up. Who are we going to call next? Oh my God, we're going to call Max. Friday, we're doing FOIA requests.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 847-873-4688 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Max, it's John, the 45th Ward CRA committeeman, calling you to see if we're doing Friday FOIA requests. I sent an email to Perry Abazi. I don't think he responded. So I don't know. I'm going to do some legal research down at the Daily Plaza. So maybe if there's anything you want me to look up for you when I'm down there, or if you want to have a meeting down there at Daily Plaza, it would be dope. I don't know if you've ever been to the legal room on the top floor, but it's amazing. Anyways, give me a call back. Bye. It's the library. It's the law library at Daily Plaza. Bye. That's where I'm shining shoes. Pay off this debt. Shining shoes. I'm a shoe shine man now. Get your fucking shine box, kid.
Well, you're a shine box?
Hey, Brian.
What's up?
Yo, you're in the law room in the House of Joy.
Nice.
What are you up to?
Tell
I
Brian.
just got through eating dinner about 40 minutes ago, and I just laid down about 10 minutes ago.
Tell Brian I'm here.
Abdul is here. Coach. He calls me Coach. Pepper is also in the room. Pepper is a Pepe parody account where somebody made.
Can I speak to Brian?
Yeah, what do you want to say? He's listening. He's on speaker.
I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, Brian, come into the room. We're gonna have a powerful meditation soon, and I really don't want you to miss Coach Joy. So please, I'm begging you.
He doesn't have Clubhouse anymore. Do
Tell
you,
him to read
do you want me
out.
to send you a new burner phone, Brian?
No, I'm done with it.
Whoa!
Okay, tell him this: quitters never win.
He said quitters never win, but
I didn't quit. I got kicked out. I'm just
Yeah,
not
but-
signing back up for going back in for more teeth work.
it's teeth work. It's a dentist. It's actually a dentist app. If you want to
Yeah,
get
get your teeth kicked in every chance you get.
Joy is here. Wow, our Joy parody account has arrived. Joy, thanks for perfectly mirroring my account. It's much appreciated. I hope you. I have a feeling like I know who you are. So if you want to come up and say anything, it would be greatly appreciated.
Let me just step in here. Joy is powerful, and joy is an asset, and words can't describe.
I love how you fucking look at the description. They copied my account exactly, and essentially that means that you were also doing the Diego parody as well perfectly. So I can only think that you're Abby. It's probably who I think you are, is Abby or an Abby aligned individual. Anyways, Brian, I don't mean to ignore you. I called you. I was just calling to say hello.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm fucking just laying here. Like I said, I'm about to pass out any minute. Yeah, I fucking eat, I get tired, and then lay down, and then I wake up at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning and start drinking beer all over again. So, you know how it goes.
Damn, 3 a.m. That's really early. I don't start till like 8 a.m.
Well, I mean, I put orange juice in it.
That's what I'm doing right now. Miller High Life, baby.
Yeah, man. Right on.
Well, if you want, I can send you a new burner phone. It's going to be the same phone.
Here, I can get my own fucking phone, dude. I just don't want to. I mean, and I don't even need a new burner phone. I've got that phone. It's a track phone. I just go get me a new track card and then set up a new fucking, phone number and redo it again.
I know, but I'm lazy. I like to just pop it right out the box, light that burner up for $15, and we're back in business, baby.
You like to pop it out the box. I bet you she loves that.
Fucking cut through that plastic, pull it out without cutting my
pull out
hands.
game.
Go online, put in my credit card, and 10 minutes later, I have over a dozen friends of people who immediately accept me for no reason. And then I start recording them again, and they don't even know it's me. So who do you think I should create? Do you want me to create an account with your PTR and your name? And then you can just talk. You can just talk through.
It wouldn't be the first time that anybody's ever done that.
You just talk through the account through my phone. I'll just call you up, and you can say whatever you want to people through the phone. It'll be so funny. It'll be so funny. Let's do that. We'll call it. Brian Returns the Movie, and then we'll make a movie about how you're talking with people through a phone on Clown House.
Just call it Doc's Revenge.
Yeah, we have to come up with a movie name. We should come up with something. I heard people talking about you the other day, and they were like,
Dude, people have been texting me and telling me that people are still talking about me.
yeah, they were talking about how you were shooting your gun, and that was the craziest thing they had ever experienced on Clubhouse. And I was like, I agree. It's not often you hear you're the only one I've ever heard fire a gun on this app, and that is very unique. So, kudos.
Yeah. I messed up the other night. I accidentally shot my floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot through the floor and I hit a hot water pipe underneath the house and it started flooding, so I had to turn the fucking hot water heater
Oh
off.
my God. Fuck, how did you get into Florida to fix it?
Well, it's a trailer. It's a double wide trailer, man.
Oh.
Pre-manufactured home. Just crawl underneath it, man.
How did you fix it?
Cut out the place where it was busted, and the PVC'd it, some new.
Yeah.
It only took me like 20 minutes.
Fuck, man, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that ain't nothing, man. It's better than when the fucking like pump goes out and you have to prime the whole well and all that shit all over again.
All right, man. Well, what was else I gonna tell you? Oh, Marshall Rankin is one hillbilly son of a bitch. I just gotta say.
Marshall is a pussy.
He's one dumb motherfucker, but he's not the worst of the worst, but he's pretty fucking dumb.
That kid doesn't know shit. He just thinks he knows shit.
Well, anyways, I mean, he's one person. I try to value even people that everyone can contribute something to a database, everyone.
Even if it's wrong information.
Yep. Isn't that so? With that knowledge, I mean, agape is really the way to go in life. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah. Fatherly love, sure.
Yeah, that's the way. The way is fatherly love. This has been another exciting episode of The Law in the House of Joy.
Right on, dude. Well, I'm gonna rack the fuck out now. I'll talk to you later, dude.
Okay, God bless. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Great.
Okay, who else shall we call? We are approaching the limits. I don't know anybody else. I know some chicks we could call, but they don't call or text me back. So they're just not interested. There's no point in harassing these people who don't want to talk to me. Let's call my Uncle Earl and give him the good news that I'm moving in. That I'm moving to Florida.
Call Uncle Earl.
Let's call Earl up. Here we go. They got me, Earl. They got me.
Speak to Uncle Earl. Hey.
Hey, Uncle. How are you doing?
What am I doing? Or how am I doing?
I mean, you're breathing. You're talking coherently. Those are all good signs that there's life still in between the thighs.
This is just your recording.
I'm an AI chatbot now. I've converted fully to an AI algorithmic model. Good evening, Uncle. How are you tonight?
Hey, what happened to the chick you're going?
Which chick? I don't know. I gotta text some of these chicks.
The little one.
Oh, she backed out. She's not interested. She kissed worse than Grandmother Lee. Yeah, she's a real cutie pie, but not interested. Apparently I ain't got the big bucks. She ain't wrong. I get no respect at all. I told her I'm gonna have to file bankruptcy and move in with my uncle in Tampa and wash his feet and pay him rent.
What'd she say?
She said, I love Tampa. How old's your uncle? It's amazing, but when I first moved to when I moved to LA, I was looking at Craigslist and looking at apartments. You wouldn't believe the creepy ads that guys would put up that own houses, say they're looking for a cute girl in the early 20s to, be a live-in assistant and a companion, and and there's girls that will move to LA on a whim and a dime.
Well, yeah, sure. It's a deal. It's a transaction. Why not?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you told me once, like, if you ever go broke, you can just rent all the rooms, you know? And so, unfortunately, I can't actually rent the rooms here anymore because the judge downtown is doing turnovers and I can no longer collect rent on the property.
I saw you sent me something, but I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's incredible, but he got
What
me.
means doing turnovers? What the hell does that mean?
It's like he's turning tricks on me. Basically, he tells the tenants you can't send him money anymore. You have to send us the rent.
Well, so you can tell people it's just a cash deal. Give them a discount.
Well, that's the thing, you know. That's what I'm trying to arrange over here, but it's, having some difficulties. We'll see how it goes.
What, is that what you're trying?
That's what I went for, but
What happens if they can't shoot? Is there a charge? Did they do anything?
no, there's no charges. They're a debt collection agency, and they're using an unconstitutional form of capture here. It's totally unconstitutional what they're doing. I requested a jury trial. They dismissed the motion. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to look at you. You're just a number on a piece of paper, and they take anything they can get. They're sharks. It's predation. They're predators. You know what it's like. You got sued. You were on the run. They served everybody. Fuck in your house over there. I mean, they were serving people who had nothing to do with it. It's you fuck with lawyers. It's
That's
fucking.
normal.
I know, but it just shows you the extent of the power of a lawyer. Where it's like, if they're good, they're fully automated. They get their paperwork out quick. They're really in the
What are you
computer.
gonna do now? Because you might go in the hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the hole the way they got this set up. So, only option I have is I lease the units out through a nonprofit, and I can't collect any of the rent. But the nonprofit can collect the rent, and they can't actually go after a nonprofit. So I've got a state of Illinois certificate, and I can open up a checking account. I just got to get the EIN number now, and then I can start renting.
Are you the nonprofit?
Yeah, I'm the president of the nonprofit. This is what the lawyer told me to do. He said they can't touch the assets in a nonprofit. I was like, genius. So I opened up Meditation Yoga Center, and now I'm doing free yoga classes on an Airbnb experience. And I'm a yoga teacher now, and it's all a nonprofit.
So let me get this straight. So a person signs up with you, he pays the yoga teacher a nonprofit amount of money, which turns out to be your rent.
No, my VA disability is how I'm paying the mortgage. But the nonprofit, they provide meals, we provide yoga classes, we provide hypnosis and therapy and educational services. So, I'm not paying myself a salary. I'm just running the property as a nonprofit, and the nonprofit pays all of the overhead.
Are you getting money in this way? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all through Airbnb. They rent I'm renting out the room. I'm going to rent the rooms out individually. There's I can't have a tenant. I can't have a lease. But if it's a 30-day stay and they come for a nonprofit yoga session, it's not salary. The money is being used for overhead and other meditation and yoga nonprofit activities.
It's a little hard to grasp.
You've never opened a nonprofit? I thought you opened a church.
No, it's just that you're renting a nonprofit yoga room for 30 days at a time. Is that what this is?
Yeah. That's the way I'm marketing it. I could just say it's a room for rent, but I'm trying to market it and angle it as being an experience. You have to get into the experience business on Airbnb.
I didn't even know they were in that business.
Yeah, if you got a tour bus, you could do a mafia tours of old St. Pete. Just give people
There was a mafia here?
there's mafia in every fucking city.
Well, Chicago's famous for it.
I'm pretty sure these lawyers suing me are Bugsy Capone and Al Capone. I mean, these motherfuckers, they're a bunch of criminals. They don't give a. They are the most ruthless sharks you've ever seen. People cry and cry. Please, I have nothing. Sorry, sir. Your wages are being garnished in accordance with the law. Good day to you.
You think you can get away with this?
Get away with this. There's nothing to get away with. They can't take the property from me. As long as I keep paying the mortgage. They're just another creditor. They're not my only creditor. I got this mortgage through who was the underwriter? I can't remember who was the underwriter, but this mortgage is 600,000. I'm just a bag man trying to balance the scales, but unfortunately the scales of justice are now tipping in favor of the creditor, aka the lawyer. There's no such thing as banks, Earl. It's just fucking lawyers in the world. That's it. Just fucking lawyers. Sharks and minnows. Bugs and windshields.
Well,
my mom told me, you need to sell your stuff, get in your car, and move to your uncle's house and pay him rent. I said, why don't you move in here, live rent free, and help me stay alive? She said, I'd rather see you in the streets.
She said what?
I'm being facetious. I'm just kidding around. I'm saying, she said, I'd rather see you in the streets. That's what everybody says. Like, oh, just go get a job. Go live in the streets.
Does your dad know this?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that it matters.
Yeah. I send him all the emails. He tells me, go get a job. I'm like, I got a job, but I'm filing a sexual harassment lawsuit against my manager for calling me a whore.
How's that working out?
It's a long process suing the federal government, you know? It's all the discovery, the filing of the federal lawsuit. It's expensive to file. It's complicated to file. It's not easy being your own attorney. I don't know what I'm doing. Nothing is formatted correctly.
There are attorneys who don't practice in front of the bar that you can pay them for their advice.
I know. You know what their
They're
advice?
lawyers, but they're not. They just charge you for advice.
Well, the lawyer who helped me, who's now in hospice, when I showed this other lawyer the letter that we wrote, he goes, "You wrote this?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You could be a fucking lawyer." I was like, and the guy who wrote it for me, he's like, "Don't tell anybody I wrote it because I could get in trouble." But you know, it's basically a thesis essay, but what you do is present, you know.
He's in hospice worrying about whether he's going to get in trouble.
These lawyers can't give it up. It's a big game. They love being lawyers. You know, every day is a new
Even on
dopamine
their
rush.
deathbed?
Once a lawyer, always a lawyer. I tried to call him right now to get his last piece of advice before he dries up, but you know, I know he's not doing well at all. He can't get out of bed. He's bedridden now. And you know, he went to battle with some lawyers. They sued him. He lost everything, and so he put his money in a nonprofit charity, and he's been doing basketball, you know, coaching for 30 years and living off of his charity money. But these lawyers and these corrupt judges here, he said they were connected to the mafia. They were doing like he exposed them for like some kind of a scam or something, and they went to war with him, and they even tried to kill him, like actually shoot him. And he basically had to retire early. He divorced his wife, and then he just lived off of his charity. But he had enough money in the charity, and then he got on a public Chicago Housing Authority voucher. He's been living rent free in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for 20 years. But now he's in hospice. But he knew somebody that got him the voucher, some alderman or something.
Oh, God. Every time you call me, and I hang up, my head is all spun around backwards.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, you know?
My mom used to tell me that.
Because she was a real person. It's the material world that is the ultimate inversion of the spiritual world. So the material world is the spiritual world. It's the joy of life. I mean, the fact that I have a nice house that I'm living in, as opposed to living in a cockroach infested, bed bug infested, single room occupancy at the YMCA, sharing a shitter. Early, you know what the funniest thing was? Even when I was living in like the worst conditions of my life, literally sleeping with bed bugs and waking up with bed bug bites, even then, I was actually still happy because I had a great piece of ass in my life. That goes to show you the power of a woman can make anything, any situation tolerable as long as you got a beautiful woman in your life. And that is just, I found that God has always created an equilibrium for me, that has kept me happy enough.
Have you got one now?
Maybe. I could text her right now and find out, but I'm not optimistic. But she's a little older, and
How old is she?
I don't know, she's 39. I'm 42, but I'm not being picky. I'm just saying that, I have my sailboat still. So this summer I'm gonna shell out the $4,000 so I can hang out at the boat at the beach for the summer and try to make that baby on that boat. Because that boat is called the Lady Hawk. And the guy who sold it to me, he had his kid on that boat. So it's possible that, that boat will get me a baby boy and a wife, chained at the foot.
Prophet Enough, did you ever see a movie called The Piano?
No.
If you get a chance, watch it on I don't know, Netflix. It's called The Piano. It's a great movie.
The
Takes
piano?
place in New Zealand. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's worth watching.
What's it called?
The Piano.
Is it
P-I-A-N.
the World War II movie?
No, it has nothing to do with World War II. It has to do with New Zealand being in New Zealand in maybe 1850.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
the guy imports a piano into New Zealand, and that's where the shit starts.
Okay, that sounds good. Let me see the preview. Did you ever see this movie? I sent you the link. It's called Le Roi Dansé. It's about the Sun King of France who used dance rituals in his court. He was like a dancer, and he would dance and have incredible music played, and people thought he was the sun god.
No, you told me about it? I never.
I think I sent you the link. I can send it to you again, but it's worth a watch. It's like a 2-hour movie, but it's interesting from a communication perspective because the theater in many ways is like the hub or the nexus. And so when you integrate that into a royal court and you start pretending that you're a sun god, your audience is mesmerized and they accept you as, it's like going to Disneyland.
Yeah, second.
Let's see. Official trailer, The Piano, 6 years ago.
Who's the guy? Who's the star? He's more than 6 years old. Must be 20 years old.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I like that guy. Wow, this looks good. When did you see it? Just recently?
No, I saw it 20 years ago.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Are you sure it's the same movie? Who's the star?
The guy from Jurassic Park.
She says it's her piano and she won't have him touch it.
In the family now, we all make sacrifices, and so will you. I'd like us to make a deal. There's things I'd like to do while you play.
He wants to fuck her.
If you're scared.
What's his name?
That actor, I can't remember that guy's name, but he's in a lot of movies. It's a big movie. There's big actors in that movie.
I'm not so sure that's the right movie.
It's this is it. It's
That place in New Zealand?
yeah.
Oh, I'm over 20 years old. I can tell you that now.
Holly Hunter, Harvey Keitel. That's who I was thinking about. Harvey Keitel.
Yep, that's who it is. That's the movie.
Yep. It looks good. I'd watch it. It's kind of interesting, those timepieces from the 1800s, because, it's easy to think that because of these cell phones, everything is that much different. But truth be told, life in the 1850s up to the 1920s or 30s could have been way better in terms of standard of living than it is now. You ever see how clean Chicago was in the 1920s in the photos? It was like paradise. It was freaking paradise. It was so nice.
Now it's anti-paradise.
It's a communist hellhole. It's a money pit. It all goes to the Chicago Teachers Union. It all goes to the police and fire pensions, to the city and sanitation, to the parks department. It's one giant fucking money suck. Ugh. You're so lucky you don't live here anymore. It's the worst. I bet you the property taxes on your little place over there, I bet you those are through the roof.
They are 2,000 a year. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you probably got to pay $300 a month just to fucking own that place. Have the privilege of owning it for the city. It's such a scam.
How much are they? I'm trying to think.
It's gotta be. I mean, I don't know if you get the exemptions and stuff, but it's gotta be, for a
I think
studio
they're about
apartment.
7,000. You can't
No.
get exemptions except your exemption starts from the day you buy it. So Bart was paying nothing because he had it for 25 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you pass the title, the exemptions don't go with it. So the whole thing starts over again.
Are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about.
They're not going to go up, but they're already high.
You're talking about in Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about your studio in Rogers Park.
Oh, that's not that kind of doesn't count because it's not real estate. It's a stock certificate.
Because it's a co-op.
Yeah, it's a co-op, so the taxes aren't very high on it. They're about.
Oh, you're right. I've seen those. I've seen those co-ops come up for sale, like off of Foster or wherever the hell it is. And people want a place to live, they gotta buy what they gotta buy that's affordable, but you see those co-ops come up for like 70,000, and you're like, wow, that is a cheap 1 bedroom, but it's a co-op.
This place is probably worth about 80 grand, and it's 2 bedrooms. But the taxes are
in Rogers Park, 80 grand for a 2 bedroom? No way. Look at the comparables. You're probably higher than that.
No, what counts is what everything else is trading for in that co-op.
Oh, I see.
There's about hell, you sold it to. Did you sell when you were in the real estate business? Your only transaction was Phil. Phil Noah.
Yep. He said to me, wow, 10%? That's high these days. I said, Phil, just sign. I was going for the jugular. I was like, I'm not wasting any time on this. I was like, just sign, Phil. He's like, all right.
I think all in, including water, electricity, everything is about $700 a month. For the not the co-op itself, but just the
right. Isn't that crazy? Like that, you have to have a job. You can't even live. I mean, it's just you have to have an income. Without an income, you can't even afford to live. It's it keeps everything moving. But imagine there was a time in our history and in the culture, and you go to other countries, it's not like this. People are left alone by their government. Our government is out of control. I mean, There's the strip club near me. It says at the top, the greatest right a government can afford its citizens is the right to be left alone. I'm going through government intervention in my financial life. Everybody is always subjected to this government intervention in your financial affairs. It's insane.
Really?
If Trump can do anything, oh, could you imagine if he could get us off of property taxes and like somehow at the federal level make it illegal, and all these municipalities have to deal with their education, their security, their fire, their water, everything based off of a different form of taxation, but not property taxation. It should be so fundamentally obvious that property taxes should it should be the birthright. Like that's the gold. That's the liberty of America. Like they took it from us. It's been taken. We've become communists.
Oh, shit, now you're going a little extreme there.
Well, the Soviet Union collapsed, but did it really? Those people over there, they're not subjected to government intervention and taxation in the same way that we are.
Most of them are living in the street. It's horrible existence there, even before the war.
I agree, but if you can get over there with a nice sum of money, you can live like a king. Here, they just take it from you.
Oh yeah, you can live like a king because they're fucking the rubles trading at about half a penny
I know.
per dollar.
I went on eBay and I bought some antique rubles, $50 note, $100 notes. It is no different than our dollars. The serial numbers, the verbiage, the Soviet dollars compared to U.S. dollars were like the exact same thing in terms of like complexity, and
Except for one little problem.
they collapsed.
They're they're liquid.
Right. I mean, there's no backing to it anymore. So I don't, do you think they're going to go digital in this country and get rid of the dollar? I get the feeling they're going to try to get rid of the dollar.
No, I don't think they will. That's one of the strengths. The dollar is paper all over the world that the world accepts. Don't take that lightly. That was earned over 70 years.
I know,
Give
but
that up.
the point is if they go digital,
Straight digital. If it was straight digital, the dollar would be in competition with Bitcoin, and the U.S. can't have that. No, they're not going to ever give up paper. Paper's the strength of the dollar. The fact that it's a piece of paper.
I know, but the argument for digitizing dollars is there's a couple good arguments for it that the liberals could utilize to convince the government to enact a de-dollarization policy. One is that they can censor you and shut your account down, shut down your ability
Look,
to
the
spend,
worst single
tracking,
thing
and all
that
that.
can happen to the dollar. The worst single thing is it becomes worthless. Nobody wants it. So what's going to replace it?
A CBDC.
How many illegal transactions are done every day in dollars? How many? Billions.
Well, see, India, I don't know if you remember, but they took certain currency notes out of remember that? That's what they could do here, where they say they could say that fives, tens, 20s are no longer valid fiat. You have to turn them in and put them in the bank and then get reissued a CBDC or a digital currency.
You're going to see the dollar going straight to shit. That won't happen. Sorry. In fact, the strength of the dollar is that it is paper around the world.
I agree. It's liquid. What's interesting about it is most people don't. I've probably told you this before, that most people don't realize that paper money is actually canvases, and it's technically rare artwork. That's all it really is. It's just rare artwork.
I think I read that somewhere.
So what does that tell you, though? The maxim is that all communication is hypnosis. So technically, when you look at a 10 or a 20 or a 50, at a very quick rate, you're being hypnotized by that document. And that document, when you pass it to somebody else, it's an automatic hypnosis. Oh, you just passed me a 50? You know, so there's a communication printed on that paper, and the words on there basically say that it's God, you know, Mammon or something like that. I mean, it's
Well, what if they digitize the dollar? I can't even imagine what would happen. It seems impossible they would do it.
well, the point is, if there's a bankruptcy, you know, and they say, okay, we are now approaching um, exponential growth in terms of servicing the U.S. debt, and there's a global movement towards digitization of fiat. And I mean, don't think that the central banks aren't already hypothesizing this, because if
Oh,
the,
yeah, they are. Central banks are. But the rest of the world would shit the pants. It would be horrible.
but
There's nothing to replace the dollar with paper-wise.
your cell phone, don't you see it? The cell phone.
Yeah, but if you do the cell phone, guess what? Now they got Bitcoin problems. Bitcoin is a way better digital dollar than digital money than the dollar will ever be.
The government could outlaw Bitcoin in a second and turn all the Bitcoin
Yeah, I know.
holders.
Believe me, they've tried. If they could outlaw, they would. Notice it's still floating around. It's like 90,000.
I know, but what if the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve issue what, you know, the CBDC coin or the Fed coin, and they compete with a Bitcoin, and they buy up all the Bitcoin even? I mean, this is what people are saying, is that governments are going to have to start hoarding Bitcoin, and it's going to drive the price up to $1 million a coin. And when it hits that $100,000 mark, see, this is, in my opinion, it's all a lie. It's all propaganda. It's all hypnosis, and it's tulip mania. And unfortunately, people who think they have a lot of money in Bitcoin and they never spend it, it's the sucker's trade. It's, I mean, you've done day trading. The guy who was doing the opposite trades next to you offered to take you to lunch, right? He said, "Thanks, losers. I did exactly opposite of everything you did. Can I take you to dinner?" So, my point is, if you got it, you should spend it, or at least spend it effectively, whether that's investing it in real business or buying, you know, assets that can possibly grow in value. But to just leave it as pixels in your Coinbase or exterior wallet, you're retarded. You can't figure out a way to how to spend it. That's what people who have all this money, they can't even figure out how to spend it, because they want to spend it effectively and they can't figure that out.
That's true.
There's so much money sitting out there that can never get spent because the people that are in control of those funds, they can't even figure out ways how to effectively spend it, because they know everywhere they spend it's a negative return. Chasing yield and finding, you know, yield curves and assets, that's a valuation type of thing. I mean, you have to have aesthetic taste, you have to have culture, you have to know trends, you have to know psychology. I mean, you know.
No, then it'll never. If you have to know all that, it'll never work. It's got to be as simple as paper.
But your dollar is not such a simple instrument because of the technicalities it printed on the paper. There's so much information on your dollar, like the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, the Latin, and all that stuff. 99% of people could never even tell you what is on their paper. They can't.
They don't have to. They just have to know the next person accepts it. That's the whole value.
I get it, but the whole thing is based on faith. The full faith and credit of the United States government. It's an illusion. And the real, you know, the inflation and the grocery store prices, you go there, you go to a grocery store, you can't leave without spending $100 now. I mean, it's impossible. Everything is, it's only going up, and you know it based on the numbers. The 4% inflation target rate of the Federal Reserve is an impossibility based on the debt service ratios. Like this country is already going hyperbolic. It's just a question
What do
of.
you think is going to happen to gold coins?
I think they're as valuable as anything else. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of gold coins that get sold are fakes, manufactured in China, put into plastic capsules.
Well, that's true, but this is before they did all that. They're still genuine gold. I think silver is going to take off if all this is the case.
People are addicted to communication, Earl. And the problem with gold and silver is it's not addictive enough. People's cell phones is the biggest addiction ever created
Yeah,
in
but
human
if you
history.
if you go to the food store and if you think $100 is expensive, what if it's 1,000? Unless of course you give them a silver dollar.
That's the problem with numismatics and bullion, is that it's a fantastic preserver of wealth, but you can't go to the grocery store and pay with a $500 coin. You just can't.
Not yet, but you haven't seen, $25 for a dozen eggs either.
Well, see, I think all that stuff is relative. Everything maintains its paradigm, and in terms of conversions and comparisons, if there's mass inflation for the price of eggs, you would expect that the price of gold coins is also going to rise. However,
well, what's going to happen? The egg sellers are going to silver or gold coins.
well, everything gets thrown up into the air when a nuclear bomb detonates. Wouldn't you agree? And the Russians just tested an ICBM today. This is the thing about time, is that you and I will both disappear. It's only a matter of hours. But it could be 72 hours, or it could be 2,000 hours, or 16,000. It's coming. Our decimation is on the way. And whether Vladimir Putin decides to, retaliate with a nuke because his country is being invaded and he thinks they're going to try to kill him. I mean, listen, don't you think things will progress like a drama or a movie? I mean, and a tragedy? I hope you're not optimistic. That's the funniest thing about life, is it's like, again,
Well, the U.S. has been trying to get rid of Russia for 30 years. So, I mean, what happened in Ukraine and the Maiden, whatever, blah, 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 was just what the U.S. wanted. They were trying to get rid of Russia, and Putin's acting like an asshole and not going down easy.
Exactly. It's like my bankruptcy attorney. He's like, can't you just get a fucking job, you deadbeat? I'm like, don't you know you can't beat somebody who's dead? They're already dead. I had an ego death, sir. Get a fucking job, you deadbeat.
Could you get your job back if you wanted it, maybe? Probably
not. At this point, there is no way that they wouldn't already have all the paperwork ready for me to go. They're ready. Turn your laptop in. You're done here.
Well, they're hiring all these IRS agents.
That's what they tell you. Good luck getting in.
You think it's bullshit?
It's all bullshit. They're such a fucked up organization that if Trump doesn't gut it, he's an idiot. If he doesn't gut all this shit, he's an idiot. I gotta tell you. If he doesn't gut it, because it is such a waste of fucking money, such a scam, such a
Does it bring in money? Does the IRS bring in money net or not?
Trillions, yeah, but their budget's like 120 billion. So you're spending 120 billion to bring in 2 trillion, but you're spending 4 trillion. It's fucking stupid. The math doesn't work out. The country's broke. That's what I'm saying. This will be the most, if he is actually a libertarian in nature and wants to balance the books, which I don't think he will, because nobody's that stupid. Nobody's going to say, let's stop spending. If you get the keys to the castle and you say, hey, don't touch the treasury, it's the biggest scam in the world. We keep electing these people who keep just pilfering the treasury. That's all they are. They're just a bunch of fucking liar, fraud, thieves, scam artists, pilferers. Trump is the least of all. He's not going to say, hey, let's cut back on the spending. He's not going to. He's not going to.
If he spent more money, would you believe this? He spent more money than Obama and what's his name combined.
Yeah, because of COVID. Yep. He's the biggest cheat of them all, really. But none of it would be possible without Congress.
offender in history.
The Congress, I have video footage of everybody who voted yes for the Heroes Act, and I looked up all their Twitter accounts, X accounts, and I messaged them all. I said, you're traitor number one, traitor number two, traitor number three. I messaged every single person in the Congress that voted. You know, it takes a long time, but most people are just looking at Netflix.
There must be some website that does that for you.
It's called X. Are you on X, Elon Musk's platform?
No, I've never been on it.
Oh, you got to get on that thing. If you're an information junkie like me, you'll love it.
I'm not. You see, I'm an information junkie.
You're a Buddhist now?
Well, I've been a Buddhist for 20 years.
I'm just saying, you know, words, words, words. I get it. It's a waste of time, but the material world is where it's at. But if you can engage in the digital communications, you can make money, you know, and buy things in the material world. It's all hypnosis. It's all marketing. It's all propaganda. It wants your eyeballs. It wants your brain. It wants to deliver an ad to you. You are a part of the equation. Without you, it doesn't work. But this is the golden era. This is like pirate radio. The internet really still is pirate radio. Look at MSNBC and Comcast. They're liquidating. They're cutting salaries. Nobody's looking at the cable. Everybody's...
Well, what's his name's got 10 times the audience.
Who?
He's taking them all out.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
People are screen addicts, Earl. Don't you know that people are looking at their phones 12 hours a day? I mean, literally.
Yeah, I'm one of them, Schmuck. How do you think I live here? You think I'm looking at a wall?
I thought you're just in an orange gown saying "Om Mani Padme Hum" eight hours a day or something. I thought you were a Buddhist.
No. I have beautiful breakfast, watch YouTube. Beautiful lunches, watch YouTube. Beautiful dinners, watch YouTube. And once in a while, your dad and I get into it.
Yeah.
Just the other day, we got into it again.
Yeah, I was exchanging emails with Sima. Sima is so funny. And then my dad is so funny in return. It's like, I wish my dad could see that there's like a linguistic game happening, that there's gamemanship between brothers and sisters, you know? It's hard to recognize it, but it's...
No, this is not gamesmanship. This is the idea of words. You know, what, blah, blah, blah. He and I really go around and around.
I know, but Alan Watts and all the research into philosophy, you know, states that the words... I don't know. The thing is love, you know? Like, how do you not love your sister? How do you not love your brother? How do you not love your father, your mother? I mean, love is the way. The way is love. And all these words do.
But, you could get in a fight with... You got in a fight with your dad at times, and during those times, maybe he didn't love you, you didn't love him, you were in a fight.
No, I never stopped loving him. I mean, I've always been pretty adamant in my positions, but the whole thing is opinion making is the problem. There is a great way which supersedes people's opinions, and most people's facts are just opinions. So there's a destiny, and if you can tap into that source or go within and know that you know, are not some mere fluke. I mean, the way these lawyers talk down to you, the way they make you feel, they make you think that you're like a primordial slime, that you shouldn't even exist. But there's no law that says you have to pay back debt. But the garnishments, the turnovers, this asset forfeiture, seizures, I mean, these people are criminals. Make no doubt about it. They're taking things that God did not give them. They're taking things from private citizens. We are living in a terror state in many ways, even going back to 9/11, and even the events in Ukraine and everything else. All this stuff is outside the boundaries of our Constitution. We are free, independent people, and the liberties they have taken from us, I hope to God Trump can restore, because, you know, this election was very decisive, and we are in a very unique time in American history where we could fuck it up, you know, and it's got to be managed professionally, and that's why people voted Trump. I mean, my problem is a microcosm of the bigger problem. That's the irony. Is it's like I think I got a problem. We got bigger problems than my little problem. This country is like about to implode or explode.
Well, if it implodes, what happens to the rest of the world?
I don't know. The baby boomers are gonna like, you know, flee like cockroaches. If there's a nuclear blast on the east coast of the United States, I mean, just imagine how bad the stock market will react. Your Dow at 45,000 will drop to 28,000 in 7 days. There will be a total reevaluation of the valuation of the market. People's pensions, life savings wiped out, and the market is at an all-time high. Remember what happened when COVID hit? Literally, the market was imploding so quick every day, it was unbelievable. Circuit breakers popping, market shutdowns. It's gonna come again. There's a black swan event coming with the baby boomers. That's why they're called baby boomers. They're gonna boom. They don't know how to meditate. They don't know how to do yoga and shut the fuck up. Look at Barton and Linda. I'll cut your tits off, screaming at each other 24 hours a day. Turn the fucking lights off, Barty. People can't even live with each other. They can't even talk to each other. You think some clown diplomat at the State Department with purple hair and a rainbow pin on, dealing with some KGB fucking jujitsu combat warrior, you think that they respect these people? They think we're the great Satan. They think we're Babylon because we have all these fucked up, retarded people in positions of power. So, you know, there's a great awakening coming, but there is a great reckoning coming. And that's why I say they're called baby boomers. Your generation has yet to boom. There's gonna be a nuclear bomb. It's gotta happen based on the situation and the communication. It's coming. And look,
One nuclear bomb in the U.S. or where?
somewhere, but the point is, look what happened in Ukraine when Biden said, you know, launch the long-range weapon systems. Russia now considers themselves at war with NATO. And this is this is the CIA like Vanguard doing these things. This isn't the Congress or the people or the voters. This is like a quasi independent deep state doing what they're doing. And if you really think, and they tried to blow Trump's head off, if you really think these people aren't going to go down without causing World War III or attempting to detonate a thermonuclear warhead, this is what they do.
You got me depressed.
Don't be depressed. Alan Watts says this is how stars are born. They blow the planet up with nukes. You're about to become a star, baby. Don't be depressed. Be happy now. There's only the now. That's the whole point of Alan Watts, is be happy now. There's no tomorrow. There's no yesterday. There's only the NOW. And we haven't evaporated into a nuclear holocaust yet. But don't think that it can't come. And when that day comes, you'll be like, oh, fuck. We did it. We did this. I mean, do you know my mom used to date a guy who builds nuclear weapons? I went skiing with him. He works at Sandia. He started out in mining, and he's like an engineer. But yeah, he works on General Dynamics or Raytheon nuclear weapon systems. $30 billion a year budgets. Anyways, be happy, Earl. I just call you always to remind you that you're the eternal dancer, that even if there's a nuclear war, I mean, you're still going to be spinning into outer space.
You're fucking crazy.
You're already spinning in outer space right now. You think anything's going to change even if you evaporate and turn into a radiological, swamp thing? I mean, you might end up in your forest, in your backyard, after a massive radiation dose, and you'll become like some kind of an evolutionary Ashkenazi.
Yeah, but it won't be my backyard. Somebody's going to take it, even if I put it in a land trust. I've been thinking about putting the house in a land trust.
Good luck. None of these trusts mean ugats. When somebody wants what you got and they can get it, they get it. Then you got to get a lawyer to defend the trust. It's just the perpetual bullshit with these lawyers never fucking ends. It makes me want to go to law school so I can just get involved in people's personal lives and make them even more miserable. Oh, you want to get a divorce? Yeah, I'm a lawyer. Here's my card. Call me. I'll do your divorce for really cheap. Next thing you know, I just talked to my mom. She was like, when I moved to Albuquerque, she's like, this is how I hid the money from your father. And she's like telling me, um, anyways,
Does Bill know it?
they froze her checking account. My dad's attorney, Alan, made her take out all the money from the bank and give it to him, and she concealed all these other assets. Yeah, she admitted to me
Why?
today.
Because he had custody of you two?
She was surrendering custody to him, and they wanted to get money out of her before she runs out of the state. So they wouldn't let her move out unless she surrendered her checking account of like 15 grand. But she told me they didn't know about all the other money.
Was it in the bank? Where was her other money?
It was in the bank, but she said she created a Fugazi contract with her boyfriend. So he was like a lien holder on a as a creditor, and they couldn't take the rest of the money because she had the debt, something like that.
So many fucking workarounds in the law. It's amazing.
Well, love is the law. The way is love. Live under the law in love, and you accomplish your will and desire. I mean, your journey is a unique journey, but your journey always begins now. So what are you going to do the rest of the week, for you? I know what I got to do. I got to go get a new sticker here over there. I got to stick a pipe up my tailpipe so they can tell me my car passed an emission. I mean, we're living with Democrat clowns. I really want to you know what this lawyer told me today? He's like,
Wait, say that again. You stick it. In other words, you can't go to the and get a sticker, emission sticker.
before I get the permit for 2025, I have to get my car emissions tested, and then pay them $200 for the renewal of the you know.
So you don't want to pay the 200? Is that
No, I will, but people are saying that 99% of the cars pass, that this is just another tax and a waste of everybody's fucking time, which it is. And look, it's all about this climate change fugazi lies and bullshit. You think testing somebody's exhaust pipe is going to reduce the emissions and the carcinogens we emit into our atmosphere? So what is it? It's a
In
scam.
Florida, they don't even. Florida doesn't even have a bits testing.
It's a fucking scam. It's a scam.
Florida doesn't have real estate taxes. It's a great state.
I know if I have to if I have to file bankruptcy here, I'm gonna move to Florida. My mom's like, move to Albuquerque and live with me. I'm like, I'd rather take my chances in the ocean with the sharks in Miami.
What does your mother do? Is she retired or what?
Yeah, she's retired. She just told me today she sold 3 houses and made $600,000.
How could that be? Oh, she owned them. She wasn't just.
Yeah, over like 20 years. I mean, she updated the houses, did all the work, made them nice, and all her little finishing touches in the rising real estate market of Albuquerque, set her up for a nice retirement.
She's a smart woman.
She's a hardworking woman. I wouldn't say that she's a genius, but she's artistic. She's put her artistic.
She bought 3 houses and made 600,000. That ain't hay.
No, you're right. I mean, it's a big major accomplishment. She knows a lot. She knows everything about homes. She could probably build a fucking house. She's a great interior designer. She's great remodeler. That's why she made the money, and she did it affordably. She got the right people. She pushed them, paid them peanuts, flashed her pussy, got all the work done for free as much as possible.
That's a horrible thing to say about your mother.
No, she's always making jokes saying, I think he wanted to screw me. She's like, the tile guy wanted to screw me. All these men want to do is fuck. They're despicable creatures. I hate men. I'm like, Mom, do I need to remind you of the birds and bees? I mean, do you think we're just monkeys, Earl? Or do you think, there's a divine father, like some type of an alien that created Adam and Eve, and we're the descendants of some great cosmic creator? I get the feeling we're just monkeys who can talk. We're the talking apes.
But yeah, it's the right idea. I believe that. Yeah.
I'm just being facetious. Anyways, I talked to my mom today. I was like, she's like, you need to go live with Earl. And I was like, Earl and I have talked about everything we could possibly talk about. She's like, but you two love talking. You could talk to each other. I was like, Mom, we have talked about everything that could possibly ever be talked. We've spent hours upon hours. There's nothing we haven't touched. She's like, ah.
She live with any guy or?
No, she lives by herself. She has a beautiful house. She's had it all totally redone. She got an incredible view, and she's retired. She I hope she doesn't have any more stress. I said, stop buying houses. I'm never buying another house again.
Holy shit.
I told her, I was like, if you ever leave me any money, put it in a trust. She's like, I'm not going to leave you anything. I'm going to give it all to your sister. I was like, oh, thank you very little.
What's that?
She's like, if your sister wants to give you anything and you need any help, she'll give it to you. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, thanks.
Didn't you say she worked for the government? No, right?
Well, she worked for the post office for 20 plus years.
No. Samantha.
She works for Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, which is a quasi-government.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, but she's going to San Diego for the next 2 months. Her and her boyfriend, they got that luxury RV. They go down there and they smoke pot and play paddleball.
I didn't even know this is a different guy than the Indian.
Yeah, she's been dating this Jewish guy for a while now. I think they're engaged. I don't know if they're ever really going to get married, but they claim, they got engaged, with a, anyways, we'll see if they get married. Who knows? Maybe they're really happy. I can't believe it. Like, I'm happy for her that she's in a relationship, because he's a pretty good guy, for the most part.
You met him?
Yeah, I've met him a couple times. Compared to all the people in this world, oh my God, this guy's a big success, and if they're happy, oh my God, what a blessing. I didn't ever, who knows, honestly, I didn't really think my sister would be in like a relationship, but seems to like a real relationship in terms of, maybe longevity, maybe they'll be life partners. It seems pretty rare, but it's not impossible. Some people.
How come she changed jobs? I thought she was pretty dug into Amazon.
I think there was probably the return to work, but it was also, I think she felt like she played it out, but she was also in this relationship with this guy. So the guy's got some money. So she's like, why do I have to work? I'll just, attend to his needs, live off of his credit card, and take care of the things he needs to take care of. Then she got this other job, and she told me they'd fired everybody on her team, but because she took like a voluntary thing, working on some kind of human resources issue, they kept her.
They meaning who?
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac.
They must be not doing much these days.
Yeah, they're laying off people, trying to save money. There's a lot of layoffs. I don't know if you follow the news, but many, many Americans, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands have been laid off over like the past year. Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, they're always doing headcount reductions. It's ruthless. You go work for a place for 20 years, you come in, you're like, sorry, here's your papers. Have a good one. Life is so cruel. You're lucky. You're so lucky. You know how lucky you are that you have a brother, You'd be in Rogers Park right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be seeing you for lunch tomorrow.
And my sister and my daughter, where would she be? She's living in there.
She'd be living with your ex-wife.
My ex-wife doesn't have. She's got a shitty little place.
You should have seen. I saw this black woman talking to the lawyer today and the judge, and they were saying they were yelling at her, and she's like, "I'm self-employed, sir. I pay myself wages when I can." They don't give a fuck. If you don't file for, if you don't do series, if you don't do Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, these lawyers and these debt courts will hound you and harass you and never let you go. I mean, I'm fucked, literally fucked. Like, until I file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, they will always wage garnish me. So this is exactly like student loan debt. A lot of people think that you can get out of debt. You know, it's impossible.
So all you're going to get, I shouldn't say all you're going to get, what you're going to get from all of this is living free, but not able to transfer any equity out of it.
Correct.
Is that right?
But, you know, that's the thing is, you know, possession, 90.
If your building goes up, doubles in price, say over the next 10 years, 20 years,
Yeah.
you can't make 1 penny off that.
I can't. I never, probably never. Even if I file Chapter 13 and I do a structured, you know, debt settlement and I pay them part of my salary for the next 5 years, they still probably won't even release the lien on the building because the debt won't be satisfied. And even if I go to closing, this is the thing is if I wait 27 years, they'll be dead. There will be no collection because that lawyer it won't even be alive to collect it. Maybe his estate.
You have to be alive.
It's perpetual. I get it. But in the statutes of Illinois, after 27 years, you can't collect the debt. So it's possible the lien will become null and void if I could pay the mortgage for the next 27 years. But you know, it would be a long time sitting here not making any earnings or any wages.
You might find it's not worth it if you get some opportunity somewhere else.
Well,
so basically they got you handcuffed.
They got me handcuffed. The attorney told me I should just go move to Israel and start a new life over there and come back after 20 years. Because they can't take the property as long as I keep applying my VA disability towards the mortgage. I could wait them out. You know, it's a ridiculous thing to think about, but I could live for 20 more years. They're not going to be here in 20 years. And, you know, if it's possible, you know, listen, I could still try to appeal the original judgment amount in the foreclosure lawsuit. So until I actually crack that egg and see what I can shake that tree and see what comes out of appealing the original judgment and trying to reopen that case, try to get a jury trial, try to craft an argument.
How can you just explain that to me again? How
How
are you trying to do that?
I have to. The judge told me in the beginning, you have to appeal the original judgment, not the petition to revive the judgment. I have to go to the original foreclosure case and appeal the original foreclosure.
On what ground?
You could make a lot of grounds. Foreclosure attorneys, they specialize in two things. One is they put the property up for like a quick sale foreclosure or whatever. But the second one is a lot of these loans are predatory loans. So within the actual mortgage documents, there are things that are you could consider unlawful. And so if you can get a jury trial, you can convince a jury that this loan was fraudulent, unlawful, and predatory based on, you know, these statutes, etc. And so there's ways to.
Wait, who was predating and whom?
The mortgage originator is predating on an unqualified borrower, knowing that they are going to lose possession of the property, that they were unqualified for the mortgage to begin with. But back when Bank of America, who lent me the loan, they were doing these quick, easy, skeezy loans with no underwriting and pushing them through. I wasn't even employed when I bought that fucking house. The mortgage lender, the originator, was friends with the family that owned the house. I only got the house because the mortgage broker was friends with the owner and they put together a bullshit loan based off of my stated income. So there's ways to argue it. It's most likely going to be a failure, but until I actually can confirm that I can't actually technically appeal and there is no due process, I won't know until I actually try to get my due process.
When are you gonna do that?
I got to figure out. I know how to do it. It's just a question of, do I do it tomorrow? Do I do it
What,
the
you're
next
gonna
week?
do your own, you're gonna be your own lawyer?
I have no choice. I can't afford to pay some guy $5,000 to even. They want 3,000. My mom told me, she's like, they want $3,000 to even look at your shitty fucking case, and then they'll never stop money. And that's true. They'll never stop.
So you're gonna be your own lawyer?
Why not? If I can request a jury trial, if they deny me a jury trial, then the whole fucking system is fucked up. In my opinion, everything should go to jury trial. Why let a fascist judge dictate policy without a peer?
Well, the jury, you got a chance because the jury can sympathize with you.
100%. I'm a 100% service connect disabled veteran. The lawyer told me today, he said, when you sit on the hearing for the turnover request, interject and say, I'm a 100% service connect disabled veteran. What you're doing to me is unlawful. The thing is, you just get these judges pissed. It just makes it worse. And I already pissed this judge off to begin with.
But I don't understand. If you select a jury trial, the judge has no control over it.
You request a jury trial, there is a process in a book called the Illinois Code of Enforcement and stuff like that for you have to follow the procedure. If you don't actually have the book and you can't cite from it and follow along, it's like a complicated dance. And they will just chastise you and say what you're doing is unlawful. Like he can stop me and he can instruct the jury to do things and whatever. But if you can get to a jury, you never know how a jury is going to respond. I could possibly wing it and get a jury to declare the original judgment invalid.
Yeah, right.
And even award me damages. You never know until you try. So I went through eviction and I got to the jury process, and at the last minute the lawyer capitulated and said, I can't do a jury trial. You'll have to accept this agreement. Just take the deal. I was like, fuck, okay. So I took the deal and I cleared up $20,000 in debt on the spot. So it works. The jury trial forces the ace card or the trump card or the joker card, where they don't want to go to a jury trial because they don't know what a jury is going to award. And look at some of these settlements, 140 million, 14 million.
It kind of happened to me. Do you know that? Here in this house.
Oh.
I had two choices. Because the what you call it? Bart had I can't think of the name of it now. He was entitled to take the house out of the estate, which he did. And Linda's relatives sued me. That's how I had it. I had two choices in the end. They would settle all, was there 4 or 6 of them? I forget. I think it was 4 on their side. They would settle. First, they wanted like $50,000 each, but we got it down to 6 each. There was more than that. I ended up paying I had two choices: to go in front of a judge and have a judge decide whether or not they should get money, because Bart and Linda promised them money through the estate. But Bart changed his mind, which he legally could do, but they tried to prove he was insane, didn't know what he was doing. But the other option was I either had to pay him off or go to court. And my lawyer said, don't pick a jury because you don't know what they're going to do. the judge will probably be more honest. Maybe he is. Maybe the judge is on the take. You don't know,
Right.
right? So my choice was go to court. If I go to court, it's a 3-day trial. So I would have owed my own lawyer,
Yeah.
regardless of win, lose, or draw. I would have owed her 30 grand for 3 days.
Whew.
So I was going to pay out 30 grand anyway, plus maybe lose the house. So I said, fuck it, it's not worth it. And I paid out $88,000 all in. Because there was I didn't have to pay her that much. But I paid them that kind of money for them to settle.
Whoa. So
Because-
you basically bought the house for $100 grand.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting possession.
Right.
I could have fought them, and if I lost, the judge would divide the house, and
Right.
I have only.
Yeah, you probably would have had to liquidate. They would have liquidated that fucker. I guarantee it.
Yes, exactly.
No, that's what I'm
That's
trying to
exactly-
prevent. If you want, why don't you sell that place, cash out, and come live here on my first floor and live in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath for free? Live next to you could live here and take care, do something for Chansey and see your grandson. I mean, fuck it, or keep the house and rent it, but you could live here for free because I don't pay property taxes. You do. You could live off of the property tax savings you're going to get by living here for free with me. All you gotta do. My mom told me, she's like, you need to get yourself a gay guy to move in and they'll think he's your boyfriend and they won't know he's paying you rent.
Only your mother could come up with that one.
I'm like, I'm gay
she-
now.
Your mother is a treacherous bitch. It's amazing. That's the sharp she is.
She's a shark. She told me she got this judge to like hand over all these people's money that they owed her. She's like, I kept records. The judge agreed with me. She's her own attorney. And really, you look at it, you're like, these attorneys, they don't do shit. They're just fucking communication experts. That's all they are. They just sit there and file the paperwork.
Well, no, they know the ins and outs of the law and the judges. That's what they do.
I get it. But what I'm saying is when you compare people and you realize that there's no real difference between the mechanic, the lawyer, the psychologist, the doctor, everybody's just an average person playing a role in society.
Oh, God. I couldn't go back to Chicago. I'm too close to passing away.
Yeah, but I could take care of you. You wouldn't pay property taxes if you wanted to use your money for travel or you wanted to use your money for radical gene therapy. We could fly you to Mexico and have your balls injected with genetic material, experimental, recuperate. I told Barton. Remember when Barton was passing? I was like, watch this Mel Gibson thing about how he took his dad to get a stem cell treatment therapy in Mexico.
I read that somewhere. What happened?
Who the fuck knows? It's probably a scam. Well, yeah, if you don't want to pay property taxes anymore, I mean, fuck it, just move here because I'm 100.
Ellen Watts said, "What a world! Everything eats everything else up. There's no waste." I told your dad that the other night. He didn't agree with me.
I don't know. The whole thing about Jesus is love. Like he's the alchemical symbol of love, which is fatherly love, agape. And that is the way. The way is love. I mean, even if Christ isn't Messiah and he's a heretic Jew, nonetheless, the philosophy behind what Jesus is supposed to represent is a positive thing. That, supposedly. The big problem is the Catholic Church. That is the ancient Roman, Babylonian pedophile cult. There's no doubt about it. That the Catholic Church, for the most part, is a net negative on society. They have special tax breaks. They pay no income tax, no property tax. They rape children. They have multi-billion-dollar settlements for rape victims. I mean, what the fuck were people thinking? You know, a lot of victims here in Chicago. A lot of victims. Boston, a lot of victims. Wherever the Catholic Church is, there's a lot of sexual victims.
There's something like 10 million Catholics in America. What a crazy world.
I mean, haven't you had a fun ride for the most part? No major tragedies.
Oh, I was so fucking lucky. So lucky. Oh my God. I added it up one day. You know, the odds of being this lucky are about 1,000,000,000 to 1. I mean, consider that without the moon, the Earth wouldn't be here. Start there.
Oh, it's infinite then. You really are as rare as a star. I mean, but the thing is,
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
that's why they say every man and every woman is a star, because you are so rare in the universe. And if you think about how complicated we are from, a mechanical, biological,
Yeah, and just think, if my grandmother never took my mother to the United States, she'd still be living in Russia, or who knows where? Maybe Israel now. I don't know.
could you imagine the day your great grandmother, or your grandmother, I bet you anything she was looking at a newspaper and she saw like the American flag in some black and white photo, and she was so sick of the conditions over there. She was like, "We're going to America."
No, it was. It was. You could say it's the conditions because it was the Cossacks that were killing the Jews in Ukraine. That's where she lived, in Odessa. My grandmother.
Did you feel any connection to Ukraine at all ever in your whole fucking life?
Yeah, I do, to the extent that my grandmother and grandfather are from the Ukraine.
I know, but in terms of like,
They're not really Ukrainian. They're not. They're fucking Jews.
but the term Jew is so subjective. It's like it's almost like cosplaying.
Well, I mean, the Ashkenazi Jews were from the Armenian type of land that ended up in the Ukraine. I mean, they're definitely not genetically Ukrainian like the Finns and the Danes. They're all genetically Ukrainians. That's where Ukrainians come from. The north. But the Jews were basically from the area around Armenia or the Caucasus Mountains. That's why they're light-skinned Jews. But they're not. I mean, they're Jews, not biblical Jews. They're believer Jews.
well, I'm going to start these nonprofit. I'm going to start another nonprofit because I have a pretty large book collection. I'm going to try to do like a book membership club where I will mail you, if you have a monthly membership, certain books, but you have to return them after 30 days.
Why don't you become some kind of religious something?
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to pull an Alan Watts into bankruptcy and come out on the other end of charity. Do you know how complicated the tax code is for charities and your annual filings? Like, this is a discovery process for me to actually learn.
I do, because I had a charity. You forget that when Future World existed, 10 or 15 years ago, it was a nonprofit. So I had a file every year. What did they call it? The form for nonprofits.
Yeah.
It was, the 1040 was like 3 or 4 pages. Put that nonprofit form about 30.
I know. Isn't it amazing? The compliance for a nonprofit versus, a corporation is just incredibly lax.
Yeah, and don't ever forget to file, man, because they will knock out your nonprofit so fast, the bigger head spin, you have to spend another 10 grand to file a new one.
Well,
Or you cannot fuck up.
Very easy to open a new nonprofit, but they may not allow you to open a nonprofit if you have filing, errors on your other I don't know how it all works. This is a discovery process. We're gonna find out.
I was in the business, so tell me about it. I think it was called a 680 or 686. I forget the name of it. It was an IRS form, like a 1040.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some special requirement because when I filled out the application for the Illinois nonprofit, it asked me, is real estate involved in your nonprofit? And I put yes. So there's a special compliance with the IRS that you have to request or file because real estate is tied into the nonprofit activities. So this is why I think that by turning the units into rentals in the name of the nonprofit will prevent them from seizing any revenue from the building. And I'll be able to pay for the building's overhead still with the nonprofit money and, continue to live here for free as opposed to slowly bleeding me out. But either way, I'm screwed. Like if I can't, it would be amazing if I could come up with a business that it could actually make hundreds of thousands of dollars and I could actually pay off my debt like a miracle. It would be fucking amazing because, there are ways to make money. And it is. I've had months where I've made $1,000 a day, $3,000 a day, and you're like, I can't believe I just made $100,000 in 3 months. I mean, it's possible, but it takes incredible.
When you were trading.
No, I was doing arbitrage with Google. I was buying ads, for a penny, and generating $1.50 a click. So I had like this huge arbitrage spread in Google. And I could possibly try to work on something like that again, but it's very complicated now. Things are so locked up. It's almost, there's no way to like fuck with the marketplace. They control the marketplace. They don't let you get anything for free, nothing cheap. They inflate the price. It's very hard to do the arbitrage spread on Google, but there are people still making millions and millions of dollars a month doing arbitrage through Google ads. But I have enough money to go get chicken tomorrow, so I'm not complaining. There's a great Colombian chicken rotisserie near me. I'm like, oh, thank God. It's in walking distance, I could sell my car and just live like a hermit. That's really that is the quintessential thing. It's like becoming a hermit. You don't need a car. You don't even need a job. It's like if you can figure out a hypnosis and become very still, like a guru, like Maharishi or Alan Watts, people come to you because you're so fucking still. Your gravity has increased so significantly with the wisdom of Alan Watts that there's really no reason to have a job because of the internet. We're living in a great golden age. I just hope the baby boomers don't, start World War III. But, maybe my debts will get wiped away in the event that the United States breaks apart.
Yeah, that's in your life.
When Julius Caesar took over Rome, he suspended all debts for like 3 years. You couldn't collect any debts. He suspended the collection of any and all debts, and he forgave huge amounts of debts. So war and debts, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, but wasn't he assassinated by Brutus or something?
Yeah. I think it was like 10 conspirators or 12. I don't know how many times he got stabbed, but he fucked up. He didn't see it coming. E2 Brute? E2 Brute!
You know what? Those Roman emperors, if they lasted a year, they were lucky. There were so many of them because they kept getting assassinated. Because you know who really ran Rome? The Praetorian Guard. They're the ones that sort of voted for the Caesar.
Well, guess what? They wanted Kamala, and they didn't get her. And so what are they doing now? Joe Biden says, go ahead, start World War III. Did you see the clip of him actually saying we sent enough weapons to start World War III?
No.
I
know he was doing synthetic shit, but they didn't say what.
I went to the U.S. State Department's website. I just typed in Ukrainian weapons State Department. They list on their website every single piece of weaponry that they're sending, and it's from the U.S. stockpiles. It's $50 billion worth of U.S. stockpiles. $50 billion worth of weapons. Do you honestly think that those fucking Ukrainians aren't going to steal it and sell it, and it's not going to end up in Lebanon, Africa, fucking Egypt, anywhere? Like, we're giving our shit away. We are so fucking stupid in this country. You know, there's many times that I wish I stayed in the military because I probably could have progressed to the colonel or even general level if I was really smart. You know, you can get in there. Like, you can rise.
You gotta to be a general, you gotta have a doctor's degree.
Well, the general on 18th Street,
You know, they tried to make a general was Todd.
he didn't want to do it.
He had to go to become, you know, he only had a master's.
Yeah, he
You had to get a doctorate, and they would have made him a one-star general. He told me that.
Yeah, he could have done it, but you know.
Yeah, if you wanted to go to university for another couple of years or a year.
Fucking.
Yeah, he could have been a general. I mean, it's not that he's right now. He's
He's a retired lieutenant colonel.
yeah.
It's still a major accomplishment.
Or he's he might be a full colonel. I'm not sure.
No, I made fun of him once. He got really pissed. He got really pissed. I was making fun of him because he's not a full bird. He's an LTC, which is still great. But when you hit that colonel mark, that's your top. Most people, you know, they're just happy getting to colonel. It's a big accomplishment to be called colonel.
Well, they tried to make him a general. I mean, they're the ones that said, go to the school for a year, get your doctor's degree, and then we'll make you a general.
Yeah, but what would he have done with the generalship? I mean, he would have been it's basically just being an executive of a massive budget. You're in control of all this equipment, all these assets, this budget, all these people. You know, don't fuck it up, general. But look at that. God, I mean, I know you follow the politics. You know, look what Trump. If Trump is gonna do, if he's gonna fire all these generals and do like a Article 15s and bring them up on charges, and God, this is gonna be. I mean, don't you think they're gonna try to whack him? They're gonna try to kill that motherfucker again.
Yes, I don't think they're finished. Yes, I believe they're going to try to whack him. Yes, sir. I've thought that for a year, and they almost got him twice.
Did you ever see that movie?
Never have I seen in my lifetime the Democrats or any political party tried so hard to get rid of a presidential contender so many different ways. I think they tried 6 or 7 ways to get rid of him, including assassination as one. Try to put him in jail, take his property. It's unbelievable. The man is sort of a living Jesus Christ Messiah that they try to get rid of.
I mean, you know, I've been working with I don't know if you'd call it working, but I for the past year I helped Robert F. Kennedy and his art director. I knew him personally. I went to Miami and we hung out at Art Basel last year. He's a good guy. He's from this social audio chat app that I use, but I have been such a loud voice on the internet for Donald Trump on this app called Clubhouse, where I've shot down all these bad actors and propagandists and liars and, you know, big pharma people. So I've been battling these people on this app for like the past year, doing online debates. And I think I really accomplished quite a bit in terms of like shooting down bad actors, debating politics, you know, based on fiscal conservative responsibility. Many people have absolutely no idea the fiscal and financial situation of, you know, the U.S. Treasury. I mean, nobody even goes to usdebtclock.org and actually even studies what the tables put out. The tables are all generated from the Office of Management and Budget personnel, or they do the forward financial projections and budget analysis. But that usdebtclock.org has all of the bad news you could ever hope to never see. It's unbelievable. The Federal Reserve and the Congress, like you said, under Trump, he spent as much as Obama and Bush combined. So there's such a massive leap in debt, and if you look at like how much we're bringing in and how much we're servicing on debt and how much the National Defense Authority, I mean, it's such a big business. It's unbelievable. I don't believe that they'll ever stop it because once you stop it, that's like putting a nail in the coffin. It's taking the oil out the engine. Like they'd be stupid to stop it.
There's no other solution.
The thing is, shit rolls downhill. So if we're doing it, the French are doing it, the British are doing it, the Russians are doing it, the Chinese are doing it.
You gotta be able, you gotta be able to get enough mass to keep the debt working, which started after World War II. That's a lot of mass. That's how it started.
Do you think there's a conspiracy, with BlackRock and the Federal Reserve, the Jews?
Probably.
A lot of people think that Israel is really in control. I mean, I don't buy any of those Jewish conspiracy theories. I think that they're all just a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I don't doubt that the Jewish lobbies have paid congressmen millions and millions, maybe billions.
But the Jews don't own the Federal Reserve. I mean, there's a lot of Jewish people that work there, but on the whole, it's probably the WASPs, the Catholics, or the Protestants. I don't know. Do you know the actual history of Jekyll Island? Even if the history is accurate, it doesn't. The people that work there now, see, their whole advantage is that they can have secret meetings. And when a monopolistic banking empire can have secret meetings that no one is privy to, and there's no audit, and they can lend out money and take in money and do anything covert, like they do it all covertly. There's no auditing, and they have international windows overseas, and they're working with the World Bank and other central banks. There's no transparency in the banking empire. It makes me think like, fuck, I'm pretty smart. Why can't I get involved in international banking? It's all bullshit. It's all like administrative work, but these people that work in banking make a lot of money.
The way you got to get into it as a reporter when you're young, that's how you do it. You're past that point. You're fighting for your own life in your apartment building.
I gotta be pragmatic. I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna go down to Daily Plaza with a shoe shine box and just start shining shoes for cash. I was like, I'll probably run into the lawyer and the judge trying to kick me in the street.
You better get some black shoe shine for your face.
Listen, the only thing I got going for me is the VA, which is the government. They upped my disability payment to 100%, which is $3,700 a month now. So, my mortgage is $2,550. I could stay afloat for like a year or two, if I watch my budget. But, the only way for me to get out of this mess is to file bankruptcy and either, live with the wage garnishment or go back to zero. I'm thinking going back to zero is the easier option. And then just get a job after I completely, go back to zero.
I don't know. I try to get that job first because who knows what's going to happen with society. It might not be so easy to get a job.
Well, what if
even a government job? I mean, you got an advantage if you go out for another government job.
I have the military veteran advantage, but what I'm saying is, if we go into a cataclysmic historical event and the federal government has to hire people with intelligence, I mean, I'm just saying is the baby boomers are going to disappear faster than I'm going to disappear. So my replacement value is up there because of my work experience and my intelligence. I'm just saying I don't see employment as being a difficulty. I mean, I could work at O'Hare as a TSA agent. I hate to be a communist and rely on the government because I really don't want to. But like you said, I'm fighting for my life in my apartment. I'll do what I got to do, but I don't think that I will actually have a problem getting employment in the future compared to the person to my left. Right? I could be wrong because of DEI. I know that's an absolute fact. My whole life I've had conflict with black women working in the government. So we'll see how all this works out. But if as long as the VA keeps paying me, I could live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I could live in a studio and still be happy. As long as I have a fixed income and I'm not driving a truck around the country breaking my back or dying.
To say I own this tree flat, doesn't it?
Huh?
It always feels better to think you got options. With your tree flat, you're trying to do clever things.
Oh, believe me, this I'm not gonna give this place up until I've squeezed out every last possible option out of this place. There's no reason for me to walk away. It's, this is not fight or flight. This is tomorrow can I get up and try to put all this together and then find out the repercussions. I mean it's a journey to see if I can pull this off, if I can live here as a hermit and have a nonprofit successfully help pay for my hermitage.
Man, it's a hermit kingdom. We had a hermit kingdom.
The Zen masters from ancient China. The Hermit Kingdom.
All right.
Okay, have a good night. It's fun chatting with you.
Yeah, sure is. Bye.
Okay, bye.